Boy, so much is going on. It's really amazing. I'm watching, I guess, Channel 13 at public TV, and I'm hearing about these guys who went into North Korea to give aid and comfort to the poor, starving North Koreans. And apparently they don't have any food up there, and they're starving to death, or at least a lot of the people are starving up there. And there's a company called Mercy Corps, MERCYCORPS, or it would be Mercy Corps. And they're going up there to supervise giving food to stop these people from starving, mainly young, innocent children who are forced to eat grass and stuff like that. And here we are, blowing up Libya to the tune at about $1 million per cruise missile. I think we've blown maybe, I don't know, between 200 and 300 cruise missiles. And we have the Israelis funding 50,000 mercenaries to come in and help Gaddafi fend off the liberators. And so the Israelis are using foreign aid to undo what King Obama wants to make happen. And I don't know how to break it to Obama, but from what I've been reading in the internet, or seeing in the internet, that Kennedy tried to play hardball with Obama, and there's some question as to what the outcome of that was. But in any event, so anyhow, this Mercy Corps, they are hell-bent, and it seems like they're very conscientious people, and they have a mission, and I can feel for these young kids who are starving to death. But here we are talking about Libya and freeing these people from this terrible life, and Libya gave up all their means of creating nuclear weapons to us after we blew the living crap out of Iraq, and he didn't want to run to that in Libya. And now we have North Korea, who the Clintons totally placated for as long as I can remember. They said, just give us money, and we won't try to create atomic bombs and do things like that. So in the meantime, North Korea is spending all this money on rockets and technology to blow the living crap out of their neighbors and to create nuclear devices, and their people are starving. And so instead of liberating these poor children who are being starved to death by this crazy leader up in North Korea, we're involved in something in Libya, which we don't even know what we're getting in return. I mean, Obama is a madman. He is a total madman, and Congress should impeach him for doing this attacks on a country without even a vote from Congress. I mean, the Constitution specifically says that unless the country is in an imminent danger, that the president does not have the authority to launch acts of war against other countries, and that is an act of war. In fact, I got a nice letter back from the Prime Minister of a representative from the Prime Minister of Canada, in the sense that that's my cat's tail. Come on, you're blocking me out. Thank you, cat. Prime Minister of Canada. Asking if he would mind coming to the aid of the union people over in Wisconsin. I mean, after all, according to Obama, that the governor over there is just as terrible as Gaddafi, and maybe Canada might want to have like a no-fly zone over Wisconsin, so that the union workers, the starving union workers, can seize more power and ultimately have the governor of Wisconsin sent in exile to another state, and let the people have their freedom, and the union workers have their freedom in Wisconsin. So apparently the Prime Minister of Canada thought that really wasn't in his domain to do that, and but they were very sincerely saying they really couldn't do anything about what's going on in the United States. But in theory, they should have the right, if they feel, you know, that there's oppressed people in the United States, they should be able to shield them. The same as the Mexican government should be able to shield those poor workers coming streaming across the borders, and here they are having to dodge these immigration people and the border patrol people, and you think the Mexican government would have the moral right to have a no-fly zone over the southern parts of California, New Mexico, Arizona, and the southwestern parts of Texas. I mean, after all, I mean, if the people must have their freedoms, and apparently our government isn't affording those people their freedoms across our borders. So anyhow, getting back to these 50,000 mercenaries that the Israelis are sending over. Now, what's interesting about this is that we give billions and billions of dollars to Israel, and I'm kind of glad we do in a sense. But then again, they're spending this money to circumvent the actions of the U.S. government on trying to get rid of Gaddafi, and yet the Israelis are trying to keep Gaddafi in power. Now, why do you think the Israelis are trying to keep Gaddafi in power? Do they know something that we don't know or don't want to admit? Or do we just want to be politically correct over here? Because it appears that they got some pretty crazy people leading the charge to knock out Gaddafi. Now, I have no love for Gaddafi. I want you to know that. I did have a little admiration for Mubarak when Mubarak joined the United States to take out Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein basically told Mubarak he was a dead man and they had a contract on him. He was trying to shake up Mubarak from joining the U.S. coalition. And Mubarak said, well, when he was asked about this by the media, he said, well, no one lives forever. And I thought that had a certain amount of bravado. I like that. I was always impressed with Mubarak, that he says, you know, screw you. You know, I'm going to do what I want to do. And if you kill me, well, you know, so what? And I like that. I don't think you'd see too many other people saying that, especially in that region. But if you try to find a video of that, him saying that, especially during the time, I don't know if you can find it now, but I couldn't find anything of those amazing words that Mubarak said. But so now he's blown away, and now Christians are under attack more in Egypt now than they ever were. In fact, in Iraq, where we liberated them, apparently under Saddam Hussein's crazy control, Christians apparently had less problems existing in that country than they do now. So I think what we've done is we've unleashed a really crazy thing going on here, but I think we should really resolve once and for all what's going on with our aid to Israel. And I think that we should either eliminate all aid to Israel or impeach Obama, because you can't have it both ways, folks. I mean, Obama committed an illegal attack, act of war. It's an act of war. That's why my analogy of Mexico going over our southern states and Canada coming to the aid of Wisconsin was meant in jest. Obviously, I don't really want Canada to come and blow up everything over Wisconsin that can have the government stop the Union people from taking over the place, or do I want to have the Mexican government have a no-fly zone and blow up all the airports and all our facilities, communication on the southern borders of the United States, to protect the poor innocent people who are fleeing to be and yearning to be free in the United States. But the point is, based upon what Obama is doing, they could do the same thing and just say, hey, this is a humanitarian effort. So there's something really crazy going on here. And I think that what Obama is picking up the pace to destroy the United States, because I think he wanted to do it in 8 years, but I think the Americans have had enough, regardless of the posturing of the major media to make this guy seem like a genius. But even they're cutting their losses now as far as credibility and asking some, it appears, pretty hard questions. But lo and behold, the American public get into a state of hypnosis when these things go on. And all I hear from Obama supporters is, well, what about Bush? What about Bush? I mean, according to the detractors of Bush, he's responsible for the elimination of the dinosaur and everything else, and he'll be ultimately responsible for the asteroid that takes out the United States. I have no love for George Bush. I think he should be in jail for his dereliction of duty on the southern borders. But this is all planned. The whole thing is planned. So anyhow, that's about all I want to say on this video. I covered a lot of a distance about the Israelis sponsoring this thing. The great thing now is the United States has asked the UN to pass a resolution so that if whoever comes in fighting and outsiders come in and fighting in Libya, kill some citizens, right? Some innocent citizens, the people that we claim we're there to protect, that they're not going to be held accountable for war crimes or anything like that. So you tell me, who gives a crap about who and what's going on here. So I say, I've asked my congressmen and my senators to impeach Obama. And also, I want the high military officials to be held accountable for not honoring their pledge to uphold and protect the U.S. Constitution. I think there should be some court-martials of the higher echelon of the military for carrying out unconstitutional orders, and they damn well knew, if they didn't know the rules of engagement of getting Congress to attack other countries, then they shouldn't be a general. Because otherwise we're right back to Nazi Germany, where Hitler was ordering his troops to do some atrocities, and that's what the Nuremberg trials were all about. Okay, so on that note, I want you all to put on your thinking caps and think about what the hell is going on. Or are you all hypnotized? Be happy to hear from you. Bye-bye.